Okay, guys, I'm sitting here with Steve Cicekian from EMBLEM Developments, the VP. As you guys know, my REC insiders, I like to kidnap everybody and anybody in the developer's office because we get first access when it comes to pricing with these suites. And so we're going to be sitting down and talking about, look, I'm going to say it, Steve, and I think you're biased, but you're going to agree with me as well, that this is by far the hottest project right now in Southern Ontario. As of right now, at the time of this recording, mid 2022, it's done by EMBLEM Developments, Design District in Hamilton. What I like to do, Steve, is just really have a conversation about why EMBLEM chose Hamilton. Okay. So we start like kind of high level, okay? Why this location? Because like the old adage still rings true, location, location, location. I know it sounds like a cliche. It's a cliche because it's true. You do not compromise on location ever when you're thinking about investing into real estate. And even if you're an end user, because at the end of the day, you're going to pay the purchase price once, but that's going to be your community for a very, very long time. Then we're going to speak about EMBLEM Developments, the builder, and talk about the history and the due diligence that you guys actually went through choosing this location. And then third, we're going to talk about the building and all the incentives. So let's talk about why Hamilton, brother.
Good question. This actually is my first project in Hamilton as well. I've never sold a single unit in Hamilton.
Are you born and raised here in the GTA?
GTA, Toronto,
cool.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
And, I was amazed after doing all the research and getting all the data. I was amazed to see what Hamilton is becoming in the very, very near future between, the amount of money going into the city, some of the top universities in Hamilton, transit, and there's also a major, major shift happening in the workforce labor as well.
Now, when sorry to cut you off, but when you say the money that's going into Hamilton, correct me if I'm wrong, from what I know, because 2022 for REC, I think it's safe to say, and Tyler and Luke and Laura and Simeon would probably agree as well, is for REC, it's kind of been the year of Hamilton. Like we've seen a lot of projects. We've seen what's been the infrastructure that's going into Hamilton. Me, born and raised in Toronto, Hamilton was always like the next best thing, but it never popped. No. And I feel like it did late 2021 and specifically 2022. The three levels of government are putting in money into this. Like when you get the feds, you get the provincial, and you get the municipal to actually agree on something and put that type of money. Like, is it like $4 billion? Like that's with a B, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of money that's going into the city of Hamilton. And look, I'm not that smart. The one thing I do know, though, when it comes to real estate, just follow where the big money goes. Because there's something going on there, right? So it is $4 billion. I just wanted to,
over $4 billion. And just to give you an idea, there was just an article last week that came out in the Globe Mail and said Montreal is getting $1.3 or $1.4 billion. And Montreal is a bigger city than Hamilton. For sure. And just, if you do the comparison there and you see the amount of money going to Hamilton, I think you understand that there is...
Hamilton's a good party place as well, right? Maybe not as good as Montreal, but Hamilton has some spots there that I've been to for sure.
Yeah, so the number is massive. I've never seen in my lifetime, and I'm sure a lot of lifetimes, a number that big going into a city. So you are right, it is on three levels, and it's...
Now, when you're looking at it, because you're an investor yourself as well, I mean, what's number one to you? Like for me, it's transit, right? Like follow the big money, right? But what is that money actually doing? Right? It's not going into the suitcases of people. It's actually going into the infrastructure. Transit for me is the number one. Like when you can get GO Transit and LRT happening, which is like how many kilometers away from the actual building is this?
So I actually walked it myself, and it took me about 3 to 4 minutes to walk to the proposed stop. So
3 or 4 minutes for you, that probably means about 20 minutes for Simos, because he's just a slow walker. Right, that was for you, Simos. And so you have a 3 to 4 minute walk. I know, like the history of real estate, and we've looked into this. Majority of my people that are watching and listening right now, they understand this as well. Study done back in 2010, 2012 from Harvard, 2017 by Harvard, was that if you buy under and or invest under a 500 to 600 meter radius of a major transit line, i.e. GO Transit, LRT, the value of your real estate along with the rentability, meaning the amount of tenants that you're going to have on a consistent basis, shoots through the roof.
Yep.
It doesn't even compare to any other type of amenity.
Yep, agreed. And you asked me the question of what do I look at when I invest into a project? Well, transit is number one, and universities are number two.
Well, why universities? To like rent out to the students and
That's
stuff like
right.
that? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm biased when it comes to renting
Why?
out my projects. My properties, I always rent out to university students.
and is it the turnover that you like?
You know what? I look at it as a recession-proof pool of tenants, right? Because freshmen come, seniors graduate, and this cycle just keeps going
Full
on and
transparency
on
to
and
my
on.
people, because they watch my content.
Yep.
I always called anything like when in and around student rentals recession proof. I just didn't know that it was pandemic proof. Like that was the only thing. Now, knock on wood, it looks like it won't happen for another 100 years if history's going to be our teacher, that we're going to be fine with people going back to school.
Right.
And so is there, we'll talk about the suite layout. So let's go back to the fact that we're looking for transit, we're looking for universities.
Yep.
You said something about the job growth, and so you can educate me on it as well. What about like what's happening? Because I've always known it as a steel town, but that's not what it is anymore. Like
No,
there's
it's
so
not.
much more happening there,
is.
right?
Again, like so when I was growing up, and I was looking at Hamilton, I'd see the flames when you're driving by on the QE down you.
Go to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, exactly. So you always said, oh, it's the steel town, laborers in terms of blue collar. And in fact, we were able to pull some stats, and I can show you on a separate note, but there's a lot of tech talent coming out of Hamilton. And it's actually ranked top 4 in Canada.
Wow.
And it's ranked higher than any city in the US.
And so are these like the new apps that are coming out? That's like when you say tech, like what type of jobs is that?
So it's all
things tech
all things tech, and it's the actual talent that's coming out of Hamilton. So it's not the jobs that are being created there.
So
it's actually the people.
Schools?
That's right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we spoke about actual location.
Yep.
We that checked it off, right?
Yep.
And if you're somebody who's watching right now and just saying, look, man, I don't really believe in Hamilton, I get it. Like maybe that's not the place for you. I'm a big believer, and I'm completely ripping this off from Wayne Gretzky. Like what you want to do is like you want to invest where the puck is going. Where are people going to be living, not where it's at right now. And so you can actually get in ground level, pun intended, because you're buying a new build where something that you're buying today that's going to be built for say how long is the build out?
4 years.
4 years out, but then you get that extended deposit structure as well, which we'll speak about. Now, I really want to focus on the development, like the actual building itself. So we have, it's called Design District. Why that name?
Well, EMBLEM, it's the design of excellence always.
Awesome.
So we're always thinking about design, and we're always design forward. And I think in this building here, we brought very, very special elements in terms of interior design, and another special wow factor, which I'm sure you're going to ask me about.
Well, for sure, yeah. So let's start off on the outside of the building. How many suites are in this building?
Yeah, so
and how many buildings? Is it one building?
So it's 3 towers.
Okay, 3 towers.
931 suites, 31 stories each tower, which actually puts in the top 5 tallest buildings in Hamilton.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
A 9-story podium, which actually connects all 3 towers together.
Okay.
Shared amenities amongst the 3 towers, which will keep maintenance fees nice and low. I'm
so glad that you mentioned why that's important, right? Because we throw a lot of these things out there, shared amenities, and then we talk about the amenities. But the fact that it's shared with the 3 buildings, 931 people essentially, we're all going to be pitching into the reserve fund, which is going to keep our costs low. Mix of suites.
Anywhere from a studio to a 3-bedroom plus den.
Okay, and 3-bedroom plus den. Let's just talk about that for a second. From an investor's perspective, is that something that somebody should look into? Like,
I definitely would.
Okay, why?
I'll tell you why. Is because I was able to pull the recent rental stats from Hamilton for the new projects coming out of the ground. I was shocked and actually surprised to see 2 bedrooms renting out for $2,900 a month.
Okay, and that's right in Hamilton right now.
That's right in Hamilton. That's for a 2-bedroom, just to give you an idea. Yeah. So obviously with a 3-bedroom, you get a lot more than that.
Yeah, look, I mean, when there's a shift happening here in Toronto from 1 bedrooms and to 2 bedrooms, a lot of people were scared, right? Because anything when there's change, people get scared, right? But we found at that time, and this is probably going back about 5-6 years ago, that the 2 bedrooms were more like a diamond in a rough. And when you find a diamond, they're valuable because they're rare, right? And so a 3-bedroom, if you're okay with the price point and the deposits, is going to be something, in my opinion, that is going to have a lot more value moving forward. And that's not just to say the 3 bedrooms, but even the larger 2 bedrooms,
Right.
as we have people who are downsizing
Right.
from their 2,500, 2,700 square foot homes.
Yep.
They don't want to take care of that property
Yep.
anymore, that they start to come to a 2 bedroom.
Yep.
They come down to a 2 bedroom. But then you also got people like the younger generation, like I think I can call myself that. I'm 40 years old. Like, I hate shoveling the snow. I hate cutting the grass. It's not something that like entertains me. And so what I would want to do is have those amenities
Yep.
that the building offers that we're going to talk about in a second. But I want to have something that's a little larger than a 600, 550
Yep.
square foot condo too,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And to know that now it's renting out for $2,900. And I know people might think like, what is Jazz and Steve on talking about a 2 bedroom? Ask us. We'll give you the proof. We'll show you
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
these things are going
Yeah.
for. Tyler and Luke do a fantastic job making sure that we have all these the proof of these rentals. But the reason that's happening, especially today, like right now, because the cost of borrowing has gone up, like the interest rate, the mortgage rate has gone up, that's taken a lot of people out of the actual home buying market, which brings them into becoming tenants. People are on the fence. Honey, let's buy. These are real conversations that happen, right?
Yep.
Like, honey, let's buy. But what actually happens is they look at what it's going to cost them, or they don't have the actual down payment, hence why they start to rent. You have more people renting, supply and demand. What happened with values that we all just went through in our principal residences. We saw this, we felt it, you know it. It's in your, you know what type of equity that you've increased in, that starts to happen with tenants. Now, going back to the building, Steve.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Sure. I don't interrupt people. You're starting. No, sorry, go.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Go.
So how much can you buy a 1 bedroom for in downtown Toronto today? Let's say pre-con.
On a pre-con, let's go average of 1,600 square feet. 1 bedroom, you're probably flirting with about 750, 800.
I would say 850.
Right around there.
Give or take. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's say 850. And how much can you rent that 1 bedroom out for?
So right now, today, Central Toronto.
With today's rental rates,
in today's rental rates, you're looking at about 2,350-ish.
Okay. So why would if I was to tell you you can buy a 2 bedroom in Hamilton for $750K and you get $2,900 a month for it?
I mean, it's why I'm bullish on Hamilton.
Yeah.
I mean, we did, team, what do we do? Like 3, 4, just three in the last rolling 12 months, right? In Hamilton. There's another project that we're very closely tied to in Hamilton with EMBLEM as well. A lot of you are watching. 23 of our clients got into that project. And so, I mean, you understand everything about EMBLEM. And I just want to take a quick step back for everybody who's watching. We actually have a live audience today, which is kind of cool. That what you have to do is your own due diligence on the builders. Because shit happens with new builds. It's like 0.1% of the time that a project gets canceled, but 100% of the time that project gets canceled is based on the fact that the builder's reputation sucks, period. How do you find out if they're good? Start off with Googling, ask some family and friends, ask trusted advisors if we're that, and if not, go find somebody. And you want to see, the best way for me to see is, hey, like what other projects do they have? How are they funded? The truth about EMBLEM, and can you talk about this? How are they funded? Because I know it. I know the CEO very well. You guys have seen the CEO on a marathon we did for 12 hours. He came on, Cash Pashutin. He spoke about that project at that time, and I think it was the Mississauga project we were doing at that time. And my guys and gals know how well funded they are. But can you just talk about how EMBLEM the builder is? Because I wanna debunk the thought that people might be having about, well, this builder might not be that good.
Yeah, so EMBLEM has been in the development game for approximately 4 years now. Between projects we've launched, projects under construction, projects that are in development stages, we've accumulated a portfolio of 4,300 units, which I think is remarkable in that short period of time.
For sure.
And you have to be a well-funded company to do something like that, and actually have built a development value of $3.3 billion.
So you know the reputation speaks for itself. And I'm definitely like vouching for them. I'm on recording saying that because we know the people at the developer's office. But you were going to say something else?
I was. And you spoke about Cash and our CEO, Cash Pashutin. Prior to EMBLEM Developments and still an ongoing business, he was managing funds. Over $1 billion of people's hard-earned equity. And from there, he wanted to diverse the portfolio and to get into the real estate world. So instead of investing into other people's portfolios in terms of real estate, he decided to create his own, and that's how EMBLEM was born.
Awesome. For people who have done this before, sometimes even if they've invested into a pre-construction condo, and 98% of the people that we're speaking to right now are investors, there's 2 or 3 incentives that if they're not being offered, we generally here at REC don't offer it to our clients and to our insiders. Those being, not in any particular order necessarily, but let me just throw them out there, and then you talk about if they exist or not.
Sure.
Okay, you have development charges, because we don't know what they're going to be when the building gets built in 4 years from now. We need to cap these development charges.
We have them.
Awesome, they're capped,
Yes,
so it's already been pre-negotiated.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Then you have the fact that you need to be able to rent out during occupancy. You're an investor, and so at occupancy, what happens is the builder gives you the keys. And if you're not going to be renting it out, either way, an occupancy fee needs to be paid. And so if they don't allow you as the investor to rent out the property, it's going to go out of your pocket. And so you're going to be losing money from occupancy to registration. Off the top of my head, it's a 4 to 6 month period. It could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less. As long as we have it in writing that we can rent out during occupancy, you're not going to be out of pocket. In fact, we take that period of time, because there's no mortgage, you actually have more cash flow. Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it, because this is more of an equity play. Don't get used to it. And the reason I say that is because when the building closes and you have an actual mortgage, then that occupancy, then your rental income will generally cover your expenses.
Right.
Okay?
And you can check that one off too. We do offer it.
Okay. Then, because you're buying today for a building that's being built for 4 years from now, shit happens in life. You go through financial hardship. Lifestyle changes. If you're not able to take that paper, which is the agreement of purchase and sale, and actually flip the paper, which is the street term, but legal terms is an assignment.
You're speaking my language.
100%. Okay. I'm from Rexdale. You need to be able to flip.
I'm from Scarborough.
Okay. Oh, I'm not going to hold that against you now, because half the people here are from there. Can you take that piece of paper and flip it and do an assignment?
Absolutely.
Checked.
Yeah.
So you got the assignment, you got cap development charges, and you got rental during occupancy. Any other incentives?
Oh, yes, there is a very special one that you didn't talk about.
Okay.
And that's that every single purchaser gets a free Louis Vuitton bag upon signing a unit at Design District.
And why Louis Vuitton?
Why Louis Vuitton? Because our lobbies and our common areas are furnished by Louis Vuitton.
How did you guys set that all up? How does that happen? I don't know. I'm not in that part of the process of real estate. So you just get the interior designers to choose that. Why? And now I get the Design District name. Though.
Right.
I'm putting it all together.
They're actually separate between the interior designer and the actual furniture or the furnishings that are going in. But I think Louis Vuitton is seen as a world-class organization. Louis Vuitton is never discounted.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys knew this, but it's never been discounted ever. So if you find a discount Louis Vuitton, I guarantee you it's fake. That being said, but it's a true luxury ambassador in the market today. Everyone wants to be associated with that kind of a brand. And imagine walking into our building where you open the front door and you're smacked in the face with Louis Vuitton.
And that's important for everybody who's watching, right? Because the name's great and the quality is going to be great, but what does that really mean to you? Is that resale value? Let's say you need to sell this condo 5, 7, and hopefully you're looking at real estate investing in a 10-year window. But so say in 10 years, the value of your condo compared to the others in the area is actually going to be higher. So the return on your investment is going to be higher. We were talking to a bunch of people really quickly off air.
And it's a fact. This is a fact. I'll tell you why it's a fact. Because I actually own a condo in downtown Toronto that has lobbies that are furnished by another designer.
Okay.
And we have a building literally on the south side of the street. Yeah. Same in terms of age, but my building trades for $200 per square foot more than the building across the street.
That's a big difference.
That's a major
You know
difference.
what I mean? When you're talking about 100 square feet, this actually makes a huge difference. I was saying that we were talking for a couple of minutes off air, and we were just the investment in itself when it comes to new build is interesting. Not for everybody. But the reason we say it's interesting and something that you should probably consider, think about, ask questions about, and actually probably take action on is because unlike any other investment in real estate specifically, when you put down, and we're going to talk, so what is the deposit structure? And then I'm going to go into that.
Yeah.
So because to me, that's two of my favorite reasons of investing into a new build. 3. 1, if I get into first access, if you're not getting into first access, pricing, meaning like the actual first access of selection of suites and pricing, forget about it. Don't even think about it because, in my opinion anyways, because somebody else has already made the lift. I want you to win and make the lift. That's why we have them here. The reason we do this, I've said this 1,000 times, is to show you the relationship of REC as well as with the developer to know that we're going to get first access. Number 2 is because I don't have all 20% down sometimes that I need as an investor here in Ontario. So the builder allows me to put down deposits. What's that deposit structure?
So it's 5% a year.
Okay.
So it's 5% this year.
Yep.
5% next year, and 5% the year after.
I love it because it's a forced savings plan. So if you're somebody who's 24 years old and spends money on silly things, like this is now you can protect yourself from that, right? Because you're going to put 5% down. You're going to go into a contract. You have a 10-day due diligence period, and you'll work very closely with our VP, Laura Stewart. She'll walk you through making sure that all those I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. We'll set you up with the lawyers. And the third reason that I like investing into pre-constructions, that's something that Laura's going to walk you through, is the mortgage process. Because the building's not built, I don't have to actually really get a mortgage. There's a formality that needs to be taken care of,
right,
which is getting a pre-approval, because the builder needs to showcase that the people that are buying it actually are qualified.
That's right.
And then they can go get their construction financing. EMBLEM's, as I mentioned, funded so well that they can self-finance this, but they're not silly. They're investors. They're going to use leverage and other people's money the same way that we all are as well. But those are the 3 main reasons that I like it, because when you put down 5%, and I'm bringing this all back home now, that when you put 5% down in year 1, if the builder increases through the forced appreciation, because every time they give an allocation, they're going to increase the pricing. Hence why we needed to get in first access. From first access to the 4th allocation, guys, I've seen $100,000 to $150,000 be lifted. We need to get in early. If they increased it by 5%, you put down 5%, you got 100% return. If they, with the passive appreciation and the builder's appreciation, let's just say it's only 2.5%. You got a 50% return on your money. It just doesn't happen in any other type of investment.
And I want to take one step back here. Where else in the world can you buy a hard asset such as real estate with only 15% down?
I know.
You know, I had a friend who was going to buy a condo in Florida 6 months ago, and they're like, "Oh, I got to put 50%." And I said, "Are you crazy?" So, like, you know, again, this is a dream for a lot of people to own real estate. And here's your opportunity.
We talked about a lot of percentages, right? 15% in your example. I'm talking about 5% deposits.
So studios started in the mid-4s.
Okay.
Okay. 2 bedrooms, like I said, is in the mid-7s.
Okay, perfect. So our 1 bedrooms are flirting around 550 to 625, 630.
Say mid-5s.
Say mid-5s.
Yeah.
Awesome. You can actually get in to a condo for $400,000. And if you're thinking, well, he's talking about a studio. What's the square footage?
370 square feet.
Okay, and I didn't even know that, but I kind of just know real estate in that sense. Yeah. Why the hell would I invest into that? Well, because I can tell you, see, some renters, I spoke about the importance of 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, and Steve and I did I think, great job talking about why you might want to look at that. On the flip side, because rents are increasing so much, not everybody can afford $2,900 on a 2-bedroom. A studio is going to rent for, off the top of my head, probably about $2,000.
Yep.
Okay, that's almost like what today's rent is on a studio in Hamilton.
Yep.
Maybe it's closer to $1,800. It's safe to say in 4 years we're going to see about $2,000, $2,100.
Yep.
Your pool of tenants is going to be bigger. More people are going to be able to afford that type of rent than somebody on a $2,900 to $3,000. So to look at a studio, I think, is a great. At the start of my investing portfolio, I did a lot of studios because I also had a lot of turnover, so I can start to increase rents on people.
That's right.
Right? And so I like that. If you're not somebody who wants to deal with a lot of tenants, that's okay. Just get like a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. You know they're going to be there for 4, 5, 6 years. Keep in mind, in Ontario, if the building's built after 2018, rental guidelines don't apply to you.
November 15th, by the way.
November 5th. Wow, you're good.
You know, I
usually say November 15, 2018. I just cut off the 15th.
And how I do know this, because I actually have a condo that closed on November 7th, and I can't raise the price.
You can't, so wow.
By 8 days.
By 8 days. Even if you try to, like, just curious, like if you try to push that date. I guess you couldn't really do it anyways. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
And so that's why you might want to consider this type of investment. You might want to consider the location of Hamilton as well as this builder. Any closing remarks on the investment in itself, Steve, and specifically Design District?
In terms of the building itself, or
go
the
anywhere,
investment?
bro, man. Go high, low, wherever you want to go.
Yeah. So the last thing I wanted to just say is about that Louis Vuitton factor. Really, real estate is emotion. I think we've all been on showings where you kind of pop your head in, you open the front door, you look left, you look right, you look at your client, you're like, let's go to the next one, right? So I think walking into this building specifically is going to be a lot different. Real estate is an emotion, it's a feeling, and if you get that right emotion from the opening of the front door, whatever it is, and you only spoke about the resale value, as a renter, if I'm walking into that building, I'm sold 100%.
Yeah.
Because seeing that luxury, as soon as you walk into the building, whatever it is, you're sold.
I have no idea what a Louis Vuitton bag and all the value of that is, as you can tell. I'm dressed in better than Louis Vuitton. No, I'm kidding. What is the value of
it's
something like
$3,500.
Wow, that's look. I mean, somebody might say, well, I'm spending $500,000 and I'm getting $3,500. Well, I can tell you, we've done over 2,100 units now in our career, and people got this. Well, to get a $3,500 bag, you can make yourself very happy, or you can make someone special, like someone in your life that you want to give it as a gift. They can be happy, and so I think that's a nice little touch by you guys.
By the way, have you seen the pool renderings?
I actually saw some of the pool renderings. Outdoor pool.
Outdoor pool.
I'm huge on outdoor pools.
Yeah.
Not a fan of indoor pools myself personally, and I kind of advise my clients because indoor pools, they just don't get used, in my opinion. Everybody wants one.
Maintenance fees.
And maintenance fees go up. With an outdoor pool in Southern Ontario, why I think it's so valuable is because it finally gives us that Las Vegas, Miami, New York kind of feel, and it's shut down for 6 months. But you go in the summer of those. If you go those other 6 months, it's packed. It's packed. People are having a good time. They're making use of it, and so you as an investor, that's something that you're going to want, and we're going to help with you. If you're an REC insider, we always help with that whole process. Give you a fully turnkey investment in terms of helping you with the process of renting it out. That you want the tenant to see that. You want them to feel it and look at it and see, oh my God, this is really cool. It has an outdoor pool.
So one thing I just wanted to say, I think we're coming to an end. One last thing I want to say. We actually hired a world-renowned interior designer here, which is Bertie Felick. And if you don't know about Bertie Felick, they're actually award-winning. They've done such places as W Hotel, Whole Renfrew, Balmain, etc. And I can tell you the design package that we've put into this building does not exist, never mind in Hamilton, I would say in the GTA.
Wow.
Yeah, it's truly above the rest. And that's why this building is going to be the landmark building of Hamilton for this specific reason. Because if you look at the renderings, if you look at the co-working space, if you look at the pool, if you look at the gym, there's no drywall anywhere. It's all stone, marble, glass, wood. We don't believe in drywall, right? So again, these are the important factors when investing into the right projects, and this is the right project.
Look, I think the second you named it Design District, you better live up to that. You know what I mean? Because you put it in the name of the building. To get access to floor plans, the brochure, the renderings, the incentives, everything that Steve just spoke about, click the button somewhere here. Maybe you got an email, figure it out, get in touch with us, and we'll make sure that someone on our team will get on a call with you to make sure that not only if this is the right building, but to even see if this is the right type of investment for you. Get on that call. It's 20, 25 minutes. You guys know the crew. I don't need to tell you who they are. But if you're new to our world, we start off with a real estate action plan. What that is we want to find out what you're trying to accomplish long term. And then, and only then, will we show you how we might be able to help, because we can't help everyone. And if it's a match, we'll move to the next step. But if you're ready to take action today on Design District, get to the place where you can get all the information. It's somewhere here, or it's probably in the email that we just sent to you. Look through everything, and smoke signals, bat signals, whatever you need to do, get a hold of us. Thank you so much for your time today, buddy. I know how busy you are.
Make sure you contact REC Canada for first access.
I appreciate that, brother. I know how busy you guys are. It's all over the place. Everybody's talking about it. But I think, because of our relationship with EMBLEM, you guys have been, amazing to us in the past. I'm very excited to see it's going to go with EMBLEM. I'm very confident in knowing how it's going to go, but I'm very, very excited about the future as well, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Appreciate your time.